Okay, so today we're going to cover a system by which you can interpret rhythm. It's a language of rhythm of sorts. It's a little system that I use whenever I want to put together a rhythmic section, let's say for my feet, or if I just want to understand what it is that I'm hearing, whether it be from the guitar, from the cajon, from the singer, from the dancer, from a footwork pattern. So let's say I'm watching a YouTube video and I see a nice footwork pattern and I'm listening and I really like what I hear and I think I would like to borrow that or do something like it. Well, by this system I can basically figure out rhythmically what it is that they're doing. Now some of us have an innate sense of rhythm, and so you could string off a little bar of rhythm and somebody could probably, that had a good innate sense of that, could just repeat it back to them, which means you just have the talent for that. But not all of us do, so sometimes it's good to have a way to figure out how to get to that same place as the person that has just this natural ability for rhythm is. And you can do it. So the system that I use that helps is you have 4 basic ways that rhythm fits into one single tempo, and I'll explain. So if I have a metronome or I'm palmas, and it's just a steady beat, like so. If I wanted to do singlets, for example, I do one sound for every click of a metronome or every palma, whatever your steady reference is. So let's say I'm just clicking my heel every time there's a palma. So I'm going 1, 2, 3, 1. So every time I just did my heel, it matched up right on the beat with the palma. So that's one sound of the heel for every sound of the palma. Now if I wanted to do duples, I would have to have 2 sounds for every palma, which basically means you're going to fit in not only a heel on the palma, but you're going to do a heel in between each palma as well. So you get 2 heels for every one palma. So the way I would count that off is saying 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. There's double the amount of heels that there are palmas, okay? So, again, if I'm going here, I'm going. Like so. So those are duples. Triplets rather, phrase 3 sounds for every beat. That means I have to fit 3 even sounds for every palma, or every click of the metronome, whatever it is that you're using. So I'm going. That's going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 3 sounds of the heel for every palma. Now, one other one is the quadruplet, and that is 4 sounds for every beat. Now, you can also get into 6lets and 8lets, but basically those are just doubling the density of a triplet or a quadruplet, so we don't really need to cover that because unless you're doing something that's a really slow tempo like Soleá, probably you're not going to use 6lets or 8lets. So for right now, if I'm doing the palma here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 4 sounds for every one palma. Singlets, duples, triplets, quadruplets. Those are all things you can use to interpret rhythm. There will be things like just regular contratiempos and what they call dotted rhythms, but those are all variations of these 4 very basic ways of phrasing that I'm talking about, and we'll cover that in other studies. So let's take a simple footwork pattern like golpe, heel, heel. You can go between singles, duples, triplets, and quadruplets with the same tempo And that's how you know you're phrasing differently but correctly. Because if you can keep the same tempo and phrase all those different ways, but they still fit into compás, then you know you're doing it correctly. So for example, I'm going to do singles all the way up to quadruplets and then back down again. Oh, but the tempo of my palmas will never change. So singles, I start here. Quadruples. So notice the tempo of my hands never changed. The only thing that changes is the phrasing of my feet. This is your reference, this is your foundation, your rhythmic foundation. Anytime you hear some song or music, look for the downbeat, that repeating sequence, and then you can play with how you phrase that reference.